Hi students, I am Praveen Sebastian Paul. In this lecture, we are discussing the NSS regular activities in adopted villages and adopted slums. The NSS volunteers generally work with the villages or slums and other voluntary agencies to complete their 120 hours of regular activities during an academic year. As per the fundamental principle of National Services Scheme, a volunteer is expected to remain in constant touch with the community. Hence, it is vital and important that a particular village or slum is selected for implementation of NSS programs. As the NSS volunteer is to live with the members of the community and learn from their experience during the tenure of National Services Scheme, the village or slum should be carefully selected for the adoption by an NSS unit. The adoption of a village is a very meaningful program in National Services Scheme. It is far better to concentrate attention on one village than to scatter away energy in many locations involving too many activities which may not be completed at all or where the follow-up action may not be possible. From this point of view, village adoption program should ensure continuity of work in a sustainable way, and evaluation and follow-up work can be easily done. The adoption can be done with the help of contacting the village and local area leaders. Next, we should conduct survey on village or areas. And thirdly, we should identify the problem of that particular area. And fourthly, a design project and complete the project, as well as finally, the project evaluation should be done. For contacting a village or an area leader, as a first step of the program, it is necessary to establish contact with more than one village, which would help to select a village where leadership is well established. In other words, selecting a village with proper leadership is very important, as sustainable follow-up actions and evaluation can be ensured in such places. To start with, the NSS unit can take the help of Block Extension Officer of Agriculture, Irrigation and Educational Department for the selection of the village. It is to be noted that the selected village should be within a short distance from the college so that constant contact can be easily made. So these are the major points that we should focus on while adopting a village. Before drawing up the plan of action, it is absolutely necessary to conduct a comprehensive survey of few villages situated at a short distance from our college. The assistance from the teachers and students of the agriculture, commerce, geography, statistics, home science, social works, medicine, psychology and education, etc. have to be sought for the purpose of survey. Conducting socio-economic survey can be an interesting field activity which has direct bearing to the curriculum of commerce, statistics, psychology, health science and health education. The report of such survey will provide up-to-date information about the problems and potentials of the village and help in program planning for the village development. The applied field work will help the student to increase their analytical ability, and this will help them to identify the problem which have been left unnoticed. And it should be noted that these survey works can also be accomplished with the help of the participatory rural committees or participatory rural appraisal committees. And thirdly, we should identify the problem of the locality. The program officer should use their discretion and should identify the project which can be completed by seeking assistance from the communities or other agencies. As the aim of adoption of village or area is to give new idea of development to the villagers, which should improve their living condition. Once the trust of committees is won, they start cooperating with the NSS volunteers and approach them for solution for their problem. One of the important services that can be rendered by an NSS volunteer is disseminating information about the latest development in agriculture, watershed management, wasteland development, non-conventional energy, low-cost housing, sanitation, nutrition and personal hygiene, scheme for skill developments, income generation, government schemes, legal aid, consumer protection and allied field, etc. So the program officer should motivate the community to involve themselves with NSS for the community development work undertaken by the NSS unit. Therefore, the program officer must establish a good relation with the government official as well as the government agencies and with our surrounding community. As already stated, the program officer must select the project very carefully as the image of NSS depends upon successful completion of the project. The successful completion of the project can win appreciation and credit from the community. So, the program officer should select a project, evaluate a project, implement a project, and that project should be completed within the time frame allotted for that project. And the final point that should be remembered is the evaluation of the project. Every project should be evaluated after its successful completion by involving the members of the community, government officials, and panchayat officials, so that the NSS unit should learn from the lapses in the execution of the project and also the plan for the next project, keeping in view the bottlenecks and constraints faced by them during their earlier projects. So these are the major points that should be keep in mind while the adoption of a village or an area. So the major points are: first one, contacting the village or area; second one, survey should be conducted; third one, identification of the problem; fourth one, completion of the project; and fifth one, evaluation of the project. These are the points that should be considered during adoption of villages. So next we are discussing the points or key factors that should be kept under the adoption of slums. So there are three major points. First one is survey of the slum, second one, services in the slum, and third one, NSS volunteers for slum works. Most of the colleges and universities are usually located in the urban areas. Due to the long distance between the college campuses and the villages, the visit to the adopted village by the NSS volunteer may become expensive and time consuming. In view of this, it is desirable to adopt slum, especially by colleges located in urban areas. In doing so, a proper survey should be conducted in a slum. For adoption of a slum, there should be composite survey team consisting of students drawn from departments like arts, science, engineering, medicine, home science, and social works. The selected area should be easily accessible for the students. Areas with acute political conflicts may be avoided, and the issues pertaining the identification of problems, project planning, interaction and coordination with various developmental agencies, execution and completion of the project shall be undertaken on the same basis as discussed in the part of adoption of villages. The second point is the services in slums. The slums can be adopted by the NSS unit with the aim of slum improvement and check its spread. Under this, activities like providing water, water logging, sanitation, electricity, drainage, health and welfare services, life and living conditions can be undertaken by the NSS unit and NSS volunteers. And nextly, we are discussing the NSS volunteers for slum work. Taking into account the living condition and status of the slum dwellers of the slum, only highly motivated, adaptable, mature and skilled students should be selected for slum development. Following are the tasks which the student can undertake in slum areas. First one, the student should perform as community investigator. They can prepare brief community profile on various slums in the city or town, covering different amenities, services and living condition, etc. And the volunteer should act as a community worker. They can identify local leaders and cooperation with them and discuss the local problems on which cooperative actions can be initiated. And the volunteers can act as a program provider. The students can help the local communities in launching a number of programs, setting up of new milk distribution centers, sanitation drives, recreations, providing primary educational help, health projects like immunization, first aid centers, child care, nutrition classes, free legal aid centers, etc. They can also help in formulating youth clubs, children's group, Mahila Mandals, etc. with the help of youth development programs which are introduced by Government of India. And finally, the volunteers can perform as a community organizer. The NSS students, after establishing a relation with the slum dwellers, they can form community association to tackle local problems on a group basis with relying on local resources, self-help and mutual aid, and with some minimal external assistance. So these are the roles of an NSS volunteer should perform in an adopted slum. So my dear students, in this lecture we had discussed about the adoption of village as well as the adoption of slum by an NSS unit. So dear students, kindly go through this assignment question. Question number 1 is write short notes on adoption of village by NSS unit. Question number 2, write short notes on adoption of slum by NSS unit. And third one, what are the tasks which an NSS volunteer undertake in slum areas? So dear students, hope you had understood this topic. On the upcoming lecture, we will discuss the youth development programs which is organized by the Government of India under various schemes. We'll see you soon. Until then, goodbye. Thank you and all the best.